All right, let me just start out by, referring to the shirt I'm wearing. The shirt says, no one's coming to save you, right? And a lot of people will sort of put some sort of religious implication on it. That's not really what it's about. It has to do with, government's not going to do anything for you. One politician is not going to do anything realistically for you. You basically got to do it yourself. And I think there's a lot of, people that seem to be waiting for something to happen or someone to do something for them. And so case in point, yesterday did a consultation with this guy who's a pretty young guy, about 40 years of age, had a CAC score, showed that he had some level of heart disease. And, and asking him, what his lifestyle had been up to that point. Well, he works very hard as a founder of a company, doesn't sleep much, eats a crappy diet. When he was younger, he used to drink a lot and, really exercises, has, too much body fat. And it's kind of a wake-up call. Hey, you got heart disease. You keep doing what you're doing, and hell, it doesn't matter what you do in your life, how much money you make or how successful you are. You're either going to die early, or you're going to have poor quality of life. You look at guys like this guy, Bill Gates, one of the richest men on the planet, and I would suspect that he doesn't feel very good. I mean, he's with that sort of body habitus. Joints are aching, he's got digestive issues, probably has erectile dysfunction, he probably has some level of cognitive issues, he's probably in pain quite a bit. Those things are avoidable. And, I talked to this guy, the guy that was 40, and I said, look, it's time to make a change. You've got to stop the crap. It's not so much what we do, it's what we don't do. And if I don't, stay up late, if I don't eat junk food, if I'm not drinking, if I'm not smoking, if I don't eat a crappy diet, those things are going to positively impact our lives very significantly. And we're kind of in this world of consumerism where we're convinced that we have to try this new restaurant, we have to try this new food, we have to own this or own that. And at the end of the day, it leaves us feeling pretty empty. I had somebody say, I could not imagine a life where I didn't get to eat everything. For some reason, being able to put artificially colored blue food in your mouth on whenever you want to is now some sort of, great thing in life. I mean, think about it. People had wonderful enjoyment out of their lives before we had all this blue food, before we had this artificial garbage, before we had all this stuff. People still enjoyed their lives. And there is a tremendous amount of goodness and excitement and pleasure to be found in the world outside of what you shove in your mouth. And I think that's what people need to realize this. You just have to say at some point, I'm not that person anymore. That is not part of my life anymore. And until you're willing to make that decision, you're always going to be weighted down with that. And it's not a matter of when or if, rather, it's a matter of when. When will it catch up to you? For me, that realization came in my early 40s. For some people, it might be later. Some people it's like 60 or 70, or they know it all along. They've just had enough pain and suffering that they finally are willing to do something about it. The fortunate ones figure this out early, or maybe they were fortunate enough to have parents that taught them, the reality of this very important part of our lives. Eating is an incredibly important part of our lives. We have to do it. It's like breathing and sleeping. There's no getting around that. You can't fast forever. You've got to eat something. And to sort of say that, and there are people out there whose literally only joy in life is what they literally can shove in their mouth because they get no other joy out of anything else. And part of it is because I think that they have gotten so dysfunctional, either mentally or physically, that they can't enjoy the rest of their life. And then all they have left is they're clinging to this little bit of pleasure that they get by sticking a chocolate bar in their mouth or having some ice cream or some other very brief. It's very much like a drug addict, right? There's like some guy on Skid Row, begging for dollars so he can go get some cheap whiskey or shoot up heroin or something like that. That is what people are effectively relegated to, and it is not something that you don't have control over. And this is the most important thing to realize: is you have tremendous control over your future. This guy who has heart disease has tremendous control over what he's going to do and how that's going to play out the rest of his life. He can it can progress, and for whatever reason, the guy had super high triglycerides and some other things going on. But you have, and this is the most important message, no one is coming to save you, but you can save yourselves, and you have a tremendous amount of power to do that. At Revero, we're helping people facilitate that, to figure that out. And my goal is for our Revero patients to figure out how to get healthy, and then stay the hell out of the healthcare system. That's my goal, because I think, unfortunately, our healthcare system has become so corrupt, so conflicted, that in many cases it ends up harming more people than it helps. And I say that with a lot of sorrow, because I went into medicine because I thought that was a place you could go to truly help people. And there's some of that, but there's so much of the other stuff now that's just gotten out of hand. And I think a lot of physicians, certainly a lot of patients, realize that. And a lot of physicians are starting to realize that too. So we are going to make a difference. You guys have a great day. Let's get after it.